Greetings. My name is Bob Jantz. I'm the very proud superintendent of Lincoln Consolidated Schools. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this presentation regarding our sinking fund and special education millage renewal, which will both be on the ballot for this November election. We will have a Google link, which was attached to the communication that was sent. Please ask any questions in that Google link after watching our presentation today. Please also go to our district website that has a Q&A opportunity and other factual information to answer any questions you have so you can make informed decisions on November. In addition, we will be hosting a in-person community forum on October 8th that I invite our entire community to in the PAC to update everyone on our progress of our strategic plan, and we'll be discussing the sinking fund along with the special education renewal. We'll also be hosting a Zoom community forum on October 23rd at 5:30 p.m., so please look for information soon. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the Lincoln Consolidated Schools Board of Education for their dedication and leadership to this great community. I'd also like to thank the entire staff of Lincoln Consolidated Schools for all of their hard work, caring ways, and dedication to the students of this amazing community each and every day. It truly is an honor to work along such magnificent human beings. I would also like to introduce and thank our amazing team tonight who will be assisting with this presentation. Our amazing facility director, Mr. Phil Bongiorno, and our amazing finance director, Mr. Adam Snap. A special thank you to Donna Bentley, who's assisting with the communication and the recording this evening. So as a reminder, both ballot proposals will be on the November 5th proposal. For anybody that's a registered voter in the Lincoln Consolidated Schools. And please note the WISD and the LCS proposals will be located on the back side of the ballot. To determine if you're a registered voter, we do have a QR code linked here. Also, in a few weeks, we'll have samples of the ballot proposals. Please take advantage of this QR code. And in the meantime, here is the actual proposal for the Lincoln Consolidated Schools Sinking Fund proposal. I'll give you a moment to take a look at it. So what exactly is a sinking fund? And how does it differ from the bonds we've relied on in the past? To put it simply, a bond proposal is like taking out a home mortgage. We borrow a large sum of money to build something substantial, like our recent lab or buildings we've constructed over time. And then we repay the money with interest over time. Often the interest we pay ends up being more than the initial amount we borrow. A sinking fund works differently. With a sinking fund, we receive the tax money directly without any need to borrow or pay interest. This money can be used for a variety of allowable uses that are in our case critical. Examples include upgrading our facilities, improving our HVAC systems, boilers, and cooling systems, purchasing new buses, updating instructional technology, enhancing safety measures, and essentially it allows us to address these important needs without accumulating debt. And we can even save funds for further use. What can't we spend the money on? We can't spend it on salaries and benefits, consumable equipment and supplies, textbooks, utilities, operational expenses, and routine maintenance like mowing, cleaning, and snow. The sinking fund would provide the district with a dedicated fund to ensure safe learning environment conducive to educational process without diverting funds from our instructional programs. So essentially keeping more money in our classrooms. And we can pay for some items currently paid from the general fund. And we can pay for some unexpected expenses that would currently be paid out of general fund. So if, for example, if a boiler goes out, we need to take care of it. We need to make sure we have heat in our buildings. We would be able to use sinking fund dollars to repair that instead of taking it out of our general fund, excuse me. So some facts, we're asking for 2 mills for 10 years that would generate approximately $2.6 million starting in 2025. Funds can be saved from year to year to cover costs of larger expenses of repairs. So each year we would have a committee that would oversee the sinking fund. Our Board of Education would make important decisions And all information will be very transparent, will be very transparent and posted on our website, so the community would always know where the money was going each and every year.
Bob, I just like to add to that, that money does not have any type of requirement to be spent by a certain date. So we'd get to keep that money until it's spent with no problems.
Thank you, Mr. Snap. And so the cost, it's about $2 per $1,000 of taxable value. So we have a table for some examples here. So a purchase price of a home for about $100,000. The taxable, approximate taxable value is about half that, about $50,000. So the annual cost for a house of $100,000 would be about $100. What if the sinking fund doesn't pass? Obviously, we're going to keep operating as a district, but without a sinking fund, necessary repairs and improvements may be delayed or not completed at all. So, and critical repairs would be prioritized, but would require the use of funds intended for the classrooms, impacting overall learning environment and student safety. So again, critical repairs we're going to take care of. We're going to use the general fund dollars, but again, those dollars would be diverted that we want to hope and to keep in the classroom. And then here's a little history about the buildings in Lincoln, and the age of some of our aging buildings, and then really the importance of having a sinking fund to help take care of our wonderful buildings. You know, Childhood was built, our newest building, in 2020 or 2003, so now it's about 21 years old. Lincoln Middle School was built in 2001. Model was built in 1956, the high school in 1960, and with renovations in 96, and Bishop was built in 1986. Rick is, we're going to be celebrating 100 years on October 31st. There was some renovations back in 2012. And Mr. Bongiorno, do you want to talk a little bit about the facilities and on the at this point?
Bill, you're muted.
So just thinking of your house, if you go back to that last slide and you think that our newest building is 21 years old, if that was your home, we are pretty much at the end of our life cycle on most of our equipment throughout the district. That would be our boilers, our chillers, our roof systems, and our parking lots. And if you move to the next slide, we do have a capital improvement plan in place, and we do have it a 5-year plan in place, and then we have a 15-year plan in place also that prioritizes our needs from critical high priorities to low priorities. And we were able to, with our 2018 bond, take care of several of our high critical needs with some of our roofs that were aged or past their life cycles, most notably Bishop Elementary and the Lincoln High School. Keeping in mind we are using general fund dollars to take care of all of these needs, we are at a point now where we are in a critical state past most life cycles for boilers, chillers, and classroom univents, which directly has an impact on teaching and learning throughout our district. Most of our parts that we're coming across right now have become obsolete or are very difficult to find. And we are also at a state right now where we have put so many repairs into our current infrastructure that it is becoming to a point where we need to replace equipment, and replacement of this equipment could lead to hundreds, if not millions of dollars per item, depending on what the need is. If we are to get the funds for our sinking fund, we would be able to then move forward and at a much rapid pace be able to take care of many needs throughout the district, look at energy efficiency programs, and look at ways for us to shift dollars that would have been coming out of the general fund back into the classroom to take care of the much needed repairs and infrastructure that's past its life cycle.
In addition to our facilities, we can also use sinking fund dollars to purchase buses annually. And currently, with our new buses, we take money out of our general fund. Transportation is such an important part of our Lincoln Consolidated Schools community. So uh, currently, the approximate cost of a new bus is about $156,000. And the cost of a wheelchair lift bus is $173,000. So again, that money right now, we need to get our students back and forth from school. We'd be able to use sinking fund dollars to pay for these costs and then free up more of those dollars back in the classroom. And then in addition, technology, the world is changing so quickly. If you look at our strategic plan, trying to prepare our kids for 21st century learning in the world that they're going to be, the ever-changing world that they're going to have to face someday, we would be able to use sinking fund dollars to make sure that our instructional technology is current. And so we're going to be able to, and also in addition to that, upgrade our school-wide phone systems and networks, maintain playable mobile devices, including update our Chromebooks, iPads, laptops, improve and upgrade classroom audio systems, and maintain district camera systems. Obviously, safety is a priority of ours. We can use some of the sinking fund dollars to upgrade safety, and including district cameras throughout. And speaking of safety, safety is a priority of ours, and that is something we as we move forward as a district, we're constantly analyzing. We had an independent consultant come in and give us some feedback on some suggestions, and we prioritize the feedback to always keep safety at the forefront. So we'd be able to use sinking fund dollars as new priorities and new technologies like AI. There's new enhancements that are out there. We can continually upgrade and through a systematic process, making sure that Lincoln is in the forefront of safety, utilizing the sinking fund dollars as well. So on the November ballot, in addition to the sinking fund ballot, another critical ballot proposal is our special education, the WISD countywide special education millage renewal. And what's the question before you? Again, it basically just renewing what's already exists, which is a 2.3826 mill renewal to cover unreimbursed costs to districts across the county. Who's impacted? There's approximately 6,000 students across Washtenaw that benefit from the current special education millage. And how this impacts Lincoln Consolidated Schools, we have about 1 in 4 students in our beautiful district that benefit from special education services. Mr. Snap, do you want to speak a little bit to the financing and special education millage and how it impacts Lincoln?
Sure. So on average, Lincoln Consolidated Schools receives a little over $5 million from this special education millage from the ISD. As you see in 22-23, we got $5.1 million. In 23-24 is about $5.3 million. We do budget for this on a regular basis. This millage would affect our 25-26 school year. So that year would be currently underfunded by about $5 million, and we would have to find other ways of funding those services as they would still be required even if this millage does not pass.
And again, why is this needed? We special education runs from birth to 26, and as a district, we're mandated to, and it's the right thing to do to provide these services to the individuals that need the services. So, without the state, we have these mandated responsibilities. Currently, with the funding that would be allocated without this is only about 37% of what is needed. The special ed millage renewal helps us maintain approximately closer to 100% of the needed services for these wonderful students and of Lincoln that need the services. And again, what services does the Millage support? Our early on programs. You can look through a lot of these benefits that the Millage supports, but the early on blended learning, um, transitional support, assistive technologies, the high quality professional learning for our educators, nursing, the psychologists, our school social workers. Along with amazing staff that we have here, our special education teachers and support staff, our amazing para educators, our teacher consultants that assist staff with educational needs with individual kids that need support. And then again, the special education administrators to help support and support networks, the leaders to help support our staff here in Lincoln. So again, just a reminder, I encourage everybody to vote on Tuesday, November 5th. Registered voters of Lincoln Consolidated Schools, we have 2 ballot proposals, and we would appreciate your consideration with both proposals. And remember to, on the back of the ballot on each case, look for the proposals.